it's Shel from Paper Rock Studio, and today I'm sharing with you the April Mission Inspiration from Mike Deakin's channel. He puts out this challenge every month in a Facebook group, and you can play along. So the first step was to adhere any size squares of pattern paper. I picked these out of my pile of scraps and cut them into squares. And as I was putting them on there, I thought they kind of looked like a chessboard or a checkers board, probably more like a checkers board maybe, but it reminded me of playing those type of board games, which kind of inspired the entire page. I got this song into my head that I think is from the 80s, and I had to look it up because I didn't know who did it or anything, but the whole page was inspired by this song, as you'll see, and maybe you've heard it before. It's a weird, obscure song. Don't think they play it anymore, but it might have been maybe from some sort of a rock opera or something, or I don't really know. But anyway, you'll find out as we go through the page. So I'm just sticking these on with matte medium, and this is my new favorite way of doing it, is to apply it with a palette knife, a plastic palette knife, on both the paper and the back of the pieces that I'm adhering, because this really does give a very smooth, non-bubbled, non-wrinkled effect with gluing paper to paper. So this is the way I've been doing it lately. I cut off the little extras and then just kind of put them in places just to create another design. I didn't want to put them all over the entire page. I just wanted a design element. And this also is driven by the pieces of ephemera that I had that have a lot of reds in them. So that's why I went with red and black. Step 2 is to add a thin coat of paint. And I decided that I wanted my page to be sort of old, like paper is old. So I went with Titan Buff, which is kind of an off-white color, and I just watered it down and applied it with the brush. And then in places I removed some over the tops of the squares where it was looking too milky. I cleaned it up a little bit with a wet baby wipe. So that was pretty easy. And then I gave it a dry with my heat tool because it was kind of warping the paper and wet. Step 3 was to add texture paste with a spatula, and I decided to use my homemade texture paste because it dries pretty quickly. Even though I have some light modeling paste, I'm still trying to use this up. So I wanted to tint it a little bit, so I added some, I think that's burnt sienna maybe, acrylic paint, brown. It's brown. That's what color it is, brown. Let's not be fancy. And I just blended that in with my palette knife, and then I'm using this stencil to apply it, just to give a little bit of pattern. When I do it up here, the stencil's moving around and I'm not holding it down very well. This is like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I messed it up, so I just scraped it off and wiped it off, and that worked perfectly fine to apply it again. I mean, I didn't need it to be perfect, but I didn't really want it to be completely messed up. I am just kind of making a grungy effect with it, but it's nice to know you can wipe it off if you want to before it's dry. So then I just kind of tried to clean up the edges, but that bottom part is already dry that quickly, so it didn't really come off. But that's fine. It's fine. And I'm leaving that lower right hand corner free because I know that I'm going to be gluing some stuff there. Because I've already planned ahead on this one. Sometimes when I'm doing these challenges, I just wing it and go get stuff as I'm going. This one I already had looked at the steps and kind of made a plan in advance because I had to print some stuff off the internet. So that was the Add Painter Color Spritz. I used some Creative Corp brand spray, which is like a matte spray, cardboard color. It's called baseboard paint, and that's what I put on there. And then the next one is to add travel ticket ephemera. These pages are supposed to be about traveling, so I cut out that little travel trunk it was really only half of it, from a piece of Seven Gypsies paper, which is one of the brands that Canvas Corp brands makes. And it's just a little travel trunk. So I just put it halfway on in the corner. And then I have some pieces of like travel posters, and that's a ticket from Seven Gypsies, and a little old-fashioned chess book, travel chess book. And this is all about Bangkok. So if you remember that song from the 80s, One Night in Bangkok, you'll know where I'm going here. Some of these things I printed off the internet, just, free little things that you find on Google Images. And then some of them were from Seven Gypsies from Canvas Corp brands. And then I have a couple little chess pieces, a black knight and a red queen, all relating to that song, that weird song that I think was something to do with a chess championship in Bangkok, Thailand, I think. But it just kept going through my head as I was thinking about the squares. The song just kept going in my head. I don't know if anybody else has that besides me. But that's what was happening. So the next step is to add marks with bubble wrap, and I decided to just use this Inca Gold. It's kind of a dark gold bronze color. And I just applied that with my little scrap of bubble wrap I have on my desk. Then the next one was to add washi tape fragments. So I found this Harlequin pattern. I'm kind of going with different old worldy type patterns that you would see on maybe scroll work or something. Because to me that seems like what you might have in Thailand, and maybe a Buddhist temple or something. I don't know. I've never been there. I would love to go there. So this is kind of a page about a travel wish that I have. I mean, it's probably never going to happen, but wouldn't that be cool to just go see something different, something different. So once I had my little washi tape fragments on there, I went ahead and put some of that matte medium over them with my spatula, because that stuff is never going to stick down. It'll come up. And I trimmed off the scraps off the back. Next thing was to add a focal quote, phrase, or journaling. And so I put the name of the song, which is One Night in Bangkok, and then I put the name of the song in the writing of Thailand. I hope I got it right side up. I may have put it upside down. I'm not really sure. And then the person who did that song was named Murray Head, apparently. This I had to find out on the internet, on the wiki, because I had no idea. Don't even know who Murray Head is, but it said he was from the UK. So must have been a one-hit wonder, because I don't think I ever heard of him. So that was my little focal quote for the page. And then the next thing to do was to do some stamping. So I'm using an Encore Gold metallic pad, and just like again, another kind of pattern motif type of a stamp. It's from Stampin' Up, from some set that's long past. But I just was adding a little bit of gold flourishes around with it. First time I've ever used that stamp. And I've had it for years. So the last thing is to create a border or frame for around your page. Not from around your page. My gosh. It's early. And so I didn't really want to make any more lines or anything. So I decided to just sponge the edge to make it framed in with some black archival ink and an ink blending tool from Ranger. And so that's what I did, and it does frame it in, although it's not like a real hard frame, but I think it works. Then the last part is just, the highlighting and outlining and the stuff that you do just to bring things out a little bit. First, I'm using my black Posca pen, and the page is not quite dry, so I keep getting matte medium on the tip of it. So that's the reason you see me scratching it onto the paper, trying to get it cleaned. And then this is my Stabilo All pencil, and I'm just like trying to make shadows around the ephemera. And I'm going to blend it with a water brush if I can get one of my water brushes to work. And I do a really sloppy job. This is now getting to be like maybe 1 a.m. or something, and I'm just messing around. I'm not particularly being fussy or precious about it. I'm just winging it, you know. I get the black on the edge of that white, and I wanted to retain that white, so it made me kind of mad, but I couldn't get it off. So it didn't wipe off, even though I think that's got matte medium over the top of it. It seemed like it should have wiped off. But I end up just re-adding it with a white Posca pen. Putting a little bit of shadows underneath my title, trying to make it stand out a little bit more. And then I've got my white pen, and it's having trouble too writing. I have to keep scratching it on the paper, but I'm just adding some frames back in. And then I end up just making highlights with it, making things a little bit more wider. The thing about printing out stuff off the internet is it's not real clear. Like if I had something that was printed, it would have been nicer. But I really didn't have any travel stuff, except for that ticket in that suitcase from Seven Gypsies. It came in like a random scrap pack that they sent me. I'm a Canvas Corp Brands creative crew member, so sometimes I get stuff from them, and they do have a really nice like old world travel ephemera paper pack, and I think they're from that, but they were just little scraps that they sent the other day when they sent me my order. So here's the close-ups. I hope you enjoyed this quick page. Very different from my usual style, but it was fun. And I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe and comment and share and help me out with my channel, because that would be really great. It helps YouTube know that I'm making something valuable. Valuable. All right. That's it for me. Thanks. Bye-bye.